Hello, welcome to Lesson 101 in Saxon's Algebra 1, 3rd edition. This lesson is on factorable denominators. It's going to take up a lot of room on my page. I've already written out the first few, and the practice problems then we'll do together from scratch. Alright, so you remember adding fractions when you have to find a common denominator. And we know how to do that, and you know how to factor something such as this. So we're going to take those two skills and we're going to put those together in this lesson. So the first thing we're going to do is factor. So here, when we factor this, we have x minus 4, x plus 3. And the 6x is going to stay right there. Alright, down here on the bottom, we have x minus 4. There's nothing to factor there. But now we're going to do this. We're going to find an equivalent fraction with a common denominator. What is the common denominator for this and this? Well, obviously it's x minus 4, but we have to include the x plus 3 also. Now we need to see, okay, well, what do I need to multiply by here, this p by, to get my equivalence over here? Well, I've got an x minus 4 here, and I've got one here. I do not have x plus 3, so I'm going to put that right here. It's going to multiply by p. And up top, I don't have to find an equivalent because this was already factored and it already included both of these. Alright, now, this little guy, we're going to take him up here for a minute, and we are going to multiply. We're going to distribute this p over both of these. This is going to have to be px plus 3p. Alright, but when we put this negative sign, it's going to change the value of both of those. And when I add these two fractions together, I'm going to come up with 6x minus px and then minus 3p all over x minus 4, x plus 3. It seems complicated. It's really not, because you already know how to do all of these things. It's just kind of putting them all together in one problem. So yes, it is a little more work. It's going to take you a little more time to do each one, but it is not difficult. You know how to do this. Alright, this is our original problem right here, and I see that on the bottom of both of these I can factor. So when I factor this, I get x minus 6, x plus 1. Over here, both these terms have an x, so I need to factor out the common factor of x, and then when I do, I'm left with x minus 6. So, you see that this one and this one already have something in common. But I need to find the common denominator of both. Well, everything has to be represented, so it's going to be x minus 6, x plus 1. So that's my common denominator for both fractions. Now I have to find an equivalent fraction for both so that I can add them. Alright, what do I have here that I don't have here? Just one little x. So I'm going to multiply this 7 by that x to get 7x. I do the same thing here. What do I have here that I'm missing here? This x plus 1. So I'm going to multiply this negative 5 times x plus 1. When I distribute negative, and that is a negative, it says subtract, but it's a negative. Negative 5 times x, I get negative 5x, and negative 5 times 1, I get negative 5. Now when I go to add these, I'm going to see that I've got a couple of like terms. I've got 7x here minus 5x. So I do have to reduce that or do the addition subtraction. When I do, I get 2x minus 5 over my denominator of x, x minus 6, x plus 1. Let's do another one. Alright, this is the original problem. I've got to factor on both fractions. When I factor this, I'm going to see that it's x plus 3, x minus 2. And here again, I can take out this common factor of x, and then I'm left with x plus 3. Alright, now I have these two fractions. Everything's factored, but now I have to find the common denominator. Well, it's going to be x plus 3, x minus 2. So, I put that down, and then I'm going to have to find equivalent fractions for both. So I look over here and I say, okay, what do I have here that I'm missing right here? Just an x, that's all. So I'm going to multiply both of these terms by x. When I do, I'm going to get 4x squared, x times x is x squared, plus 2x. I'm going to do the same thing here. What do I have here that I'm missing here? This x minus 2. So, I'm going to multiply negative 4 by x minus 2, and I'm going to get negative 4x, and then plus 8. Now I have to look and see if I've got any terms that will add together, and I do. I have a 2x and a negative 4x. So I bring everything down, 4x squared plus 2x minus 4x plus 8, all over my denominator. Then I can combine these two middle terms for a final answer of 4x squared minus 2x plus 8 over x plus 3, x minus 2. Alright, a lot of work, I know, but it's doable. Alright, we're going to do our practice problems. Okay, so let's work on this. This is our original problem, and we need to factor this one. This term right here does not have to be factored, but this one does. So let's do that. Let's see. 9x, let's do it underneath. It might be a little easier. X, and I know I'm going to have a plus and a minus. Alright, the factors of 21 that could give me 4 obviously would be 7 and 3. I need the 7 to be negative so that I'll have a negative 4. And there you go. Alright, so now I'm going to say 9x over x plus 3, x minus 7, minus 7 over x minus 7. Alright, my common denominator is going to be this. X plus 3, x minus 7. So you see this term, this first fraction is not going to change at all. It already had the common denominator. However, this bottom one is missing something. It has the x minus 7, but it doesn't have the x plus 3. So I'm going to have to multiply this negative 7 by x plus 3. When I do, I will have negative 7x minus 21, because this is negative 7. Alright, then I see that 9x minus 7x, I can combine those. So my final answer then is going to be 2x minus 21 over x plus 3, x minus 7. And that's my final answer. Okay, let's do the next one. Alright, in this one we're going to have to factor both. And because I've got a negative here in the middle and a positive, both of these are going to be negatives. And it's going to be 9 and 1. X minus 9, x minus 1. And over here I've got a common factor, x squared minus x. If I take an x out, I've got x, and then x minus 1. Alright, so let's write this now over its factored denominators. 4 over x minus 9, x minus 1, and minus 5 over x minus 1. So what is our common denominator for both these fractions going to be? It is going to be x minus 9, x minus 1. X minus 9, x minus 1. Alright, so I look here and I say, what do I have here that I'm missing here? Just one little x. So I'm going to multiply this 4 times that x and I get 4x. Do the same thing down here on the bottom. Well, I've got the x minus 1, but I'm missing this x minus 9. So I'm going to multiply here by the 5. When I do, I get negative 5x, and negative 5 times negative 9 is positive 45. Now, can I combine? Yes, I can. Negative 5x plus 4x gives me negative 1x plus 45 all over our common denominator of x minus 9, and x minus 1. See, really not so hard, just a few more steps combining all the things that you already know. Good job. Work hard. I'll see you next time for lesson 102.